Does comparing yourself to other people diminish your enjoyment of things and make you feel worse about yourself? Then keep watching, because in this video we are going so much deeper than how to stop comparing yourself to others. Okay, today I'm going to talk about why I believe you were never comparing yourself to others in the first place. I'm Nick, and my mission with this channel is to help you discover the full power, potential, and beauty of yourself and of this life. In today's video, we're going to talk quickly about the feeling of comparison, the effect it can have on you, where it potentially comes from, and most importantly, stay tuned until the end of the video for this. This is a huge, I believe, groundbreaking idea that I personally have never heard from anyone else before. This came to me a few weeks ago, and I think this could really shift the way we view ourselves in comparison to others and stop this comparison mindset for people forever on a deep, deep level. Now, we all know the feeling of comparison. Okay, I'm filming this video at my favorite surfing beach today. When I first started surfing, I used to have such a great time out there, right? I'd catch the best wave I'd ever caught. I'd do so well, man. I was a beginner. I'd do so well for myself. I'd ride all the way into the shore, and then I'd look out the back and I'd see all the guys that have been doing it for years. And they're like shooting down the wave, like big turns and stuff. And instantly, the joy just gets sucked out of me. That's comparison. I'm sure you can relate to this. I'm sure you can relate to this. Comparison is just that suction of joy. That's where that saying, comparison is the thief of joy, comes from. It just sucks the life out of you. You can have such a good time, and that's the representation of your real feeling, okay, is how you view your experience in a vacuum without anyone else being involved in that, okay? Were you having a good time before you looked at other people? Yes, then that's your honest feeling. Okay, comparison is lying to you when it makes you feel bad. But my point is, we all know this feeling. It is that suction of joy out of us. Where does it come from though? I mean, insecurities, seeking validation from external sources, social constructions, massive ones, especially when it comes to popularity and social status, things like that. Yeah, you ever had those feelings, like at school or even anywhere in life, where you're having a great time with your friends? Maybe you're in school, maybe you're out at the club, whatever. You're having a great time with your friends, and then you look over to the popular crowd and you're like, oh yeah, that's right, I'm not one of them. And instantly your good time is gone. This is a perfect example of social constructions fueling comparison. You're told you're supposed to be this, you're supposed to have this, and so when you don't have those things and someone else does, it causes that comparison. So social construction is a big trigger for this. Yeah, I also believe that not knowing yourself on a deep level and what you want and what's important to you can cause these things as well. Because if you've taken the time to get to know yourself, to understand what your values are and to cultivate those in your life, then when you look at someone else and those social constructions come in and they get poked at, yeah, so it's like, oh, I'm not one of the popular kids, to stick with the same example, but you understand in your life that you value depth of connection, and you're out with your two closest friends in the club looking over at Mr. 100 friends in the corner, it doesn't hit you in the same way anymore. It just doesn't, because you understand what's important to you and you've taken the time to cultivate that in your life. So I believe that knowing yourself and what your values are and taking the time to implement those in your life is a massive part of comparison as well. Now, what I figured out very recently has been just groundbreaking for me, and I think it will be for you too. I strongly believe that it will be. This is a huge one. This is a game changer. Now, you can never truly know someone, and I'm not talking about the whole it takes 6 months to really get to know someone thing. You never truly know someone fully. Only you can know you. Yeah, and that is the same for everyone. So no matter how hard you try, you can't possibly get enough in someone's head to know them fully, right? But you do know yourself. You do know yourself. You are aware of your insecurities, your likes, your dislikes, the entirety of your life, all the behind the scenes stuff. Okay, you're not aware of everyone else's behind the scenes stuff, no matter how open and honest they are. It doesn't matter. You never truly know someone. Now, this is part one of the game changer. You never truly know someone. So how this ties into comparison is, how can you compare yourself to someone else if you don't know that person? If you don't truly know that person, how could you possibly be comparing yourself to them? You know you. So what you're doing is you're comparing the entirety of you to your external, clouded, not complete perception of them. How is that fair? How is that fair? It's not. You're not comparing yourself, you know, tit for tat, level on level. You're comparing the whole of yourself to your perception of them. Yeah, it's like when you compare yourself to someone's Instagram post that's all airbrushed and, you know, they had a terrible night out and they posted one smiley picture and they're like, hey, look, I had such a good night. And you're like, I just had a shit night. And you look at that, you don't see all the behind the scenes stuff. This is the same in real life with people's entire personalities. You don't see everything. You never will see everything. And when you start to, because you never can truly, when you start to, comparison starts to dissolve. Have you ever noticed that? When someone starts to become more relatable to you, more open, more honest about their flaws, about every aspect of their life, comparison starts to fizzle out. Now, imagine that, but just carrying on to the entire scale, to the whole scale of knowing them fully. Yeah, so if someone's completely open with you, completely honest with you, comparison starts to dissolve. Now, all you have to do is understand that there are parts that they can never reveal. You can never truly know someone. It's not something you can verbalize. It's not something you can articulate to someone, the entirety of who you are. You can't do that. So just understand that if comparison's dissolving as you're starting to hear their open honesty, if you were able to know the full picture of them, it would dissolve completely. You can see how it's working in the scale, you understand, in what they've told you. It's dissolving the more you get to know them. So just understand that you can't get to know them past these parameters. There are certain things you can't verbally get to know, but comparison would continue to dissolve if you could, to the point that you'd realize, oh, we're just on a level. We're just equals, regardless of how different your lives are, okay? Equals does not mean as confident, as higher social status. That's not what I mean by equals. We are all equals on the fundamental level that we are all just consciousness moving through life. We're just biological machines that have different influences thrown at them that shape us in different ways. We're just moldable consciousness moving through life. So at our core, we're all equal. Now, part two of this, so let's summarize that up. You can never truly know someone. So how can you compare yourself to someone else if you don't know them? Right? That's part one. Part two, the real kicker, the big hitter, here it comes, is, oh shit, I forgot it. Right, part two is this. You're never actually comparing yourself to someone else. You're never actually comparing yourself. And I'm not just talking about to the entirety of someone. Even if you could know the entirety of someone, you are never comparing yourself to them as a whole. You are isolating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 50 even pieces of content from their life, and you're comparing yourselves to that. And what I mean by this is, you're not comparing yourself to Mr. Popularity as a whole. You're comparing yourself to his social status. That is a snippet of content from his life. You're not comparing yourself to Mr. Billionaire Man. You're comparing yourself to his level of wealth. That is one snippet of content from his life. Do you see what I'm saying? We're all puzzles with like billions of pieces to them. You're never comparing your whole puzzle to someone else's whole puzzle. You're comparing this piece of your puzzle to this piece of theirs. So when comparison, the reason this is so important is because comparison makes you feel like they're better than me. That's what sucks the life out of you. But if you understand what I'm saying now, if you understand that you're not comparing yourself to them, you're comparing yourself to snippets of their life, pieces of content from their life, whether that's a personality trait or something they've acquired externally in their life. It's all just pieces of content from their life. It's not them. It's not them. So next time you feel like, oh, this person's so much better than me, their life is so much better than mine, recognize you're isolating specific pieces of content. That person is not better than you. That person is not better than you. It just might be that you want some things from their life in yours. That's it. That's it. You're not comparing yourself to them as a whole. Number one, because you can't know them as a whole, so you can't be doing that anyway. And number two, because if you focus your attention properly on the next comparison thought you have, it's about specific parts of them or their life. It's never about the entirety of them. It can't be, going back to part one. You understand? So look at the pieces of content from their life that you're comparing yourself to and think, okay, is this something I really want? So when that comes up, remove them from it completely. That's what this allows us to do, because the real thief of joy is they're better than me, you know, all of that. So when you understand they're not better than you, and you know that because you're not comparing yourself to them, you're comparing yourself to this piece of content from their life. Okay, so when you recognize that, you can take them out of the equation. Now you're just looking at a piece of content. Now you're just in isolation, viewing one thing, two things, three things, four things, whatever, that are just factors of life, you know, like confidence, like wealth, for example, or social status even. Yeah, you're just viewing those things in isolation as concepts, not as people that you're comparing yourself to. You're viewing them as concepts. So now, and I like to view this like window shopping. Yeah, so if I get a comparison thought, every now and then nowadays when I get them, they flash up. I take the person out of the situation because they have nothing to do with it. It's a quality that I've seen in their life that actually is making me think, oh, do you know what, I might want that. Yeah, so they have nothing to do with it in the slightest. It's the quality that I'm looking at, the piece of content that I'm looking at. So they're gone, they're out of the situation completely. So boom, instantly, comparison is done. Yeah, comparison is done, just like that. Now I'm just viewing this piece of content in isolation, or these multiple pieces of content in isolation. So I view it like window shopping. I'm walking around, I'm like, oh look, there's a bit of social status. Do I want more of that in my life? Do you know what? That's not a genuine desire of mine. I feel like that's a social construction. If I take away the other people and what society expects of me, am I really happy where I'm at now with my social life? Yes. Okay, so that's ego. That's not a genuine one. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, it's about figuring out what are really your values and what have been imprinted on you by society. Now, you can do this through, you know, giving yourself alone time, meditation, journaling, things like that that help you get to know yourself and your values on a deep level. So analyze these pieces of content in isolation. Do I really want that? Is it just ego? Yeah, and then you can go about cultivating those things in your life bit by bit. So you're going social status, so I want that. Nah, that one's just ego. Wealth, well, that would benefit me. I want that. Boom. Put that in my basket. How am I going to get that? Then you come up with your plan for how to get it, and you start to implement it in your life. The whole time practicing gratitude and presence for where you're at now. Yeah, loving your life now on the process, in the process of getting those next things. Okay, because where you are now is something to be grateful for. There are always reasons to be grateful for that. So don't just wait to be happy until you get those things. Yeah, this is where gratitude ties into the process of cultivating these things. It's important not to look ahead and miss what's already in front of you. Okay, so take away the person, view the content. Yeah, take away the person, view the content. Let me see, what's this comparison thought? Oh God, okay, it's wealth. Right, person, gone. I don't know them fully, and I'm just viewing this one piece of content anyway. So it's not that they're better than me or any of that stuff that's just sucked the life out of me and sucked the joy out of me. It's that I might want this quality from their life. Figure out, do I really want it? Plan how to go about getting it at the same time as practicing gratitude for what you have now. And understanding we are all of equal worth, we're all equals, we're just consciousness moving through life, being molded in certain ways, and down to our circumstances, cultivating certain different things. Yeah, so we're all equals with different things that we've cultivated. You're not comparing yourself to someone else, you're looking at them and going, oh, I might want that. Take them out of it. Take them out of it. View the content. Do you want it? If you do, go after it, right? Let me know what you thought about this in the comments. I'm super excited about this video. This concept to me is groundbreaking, okay? This is a game changer for me. It really makes me feel like, it really enforces my belief that we're all on a level, that we're all equals. Yeah, and that we're just looking at these things in a vacuum, these pieces of content in a vacuum. It really takes away the power of comparison for me. So please let me know down below if it does the same for you. And don't forget to subscribe. Videos every Friday, every Sunday. Hit up my TikTok, same name, wakingup_to_life. That's the same as my Instagram. So go and follow me on those platforms, and I will see you in the next video.